In the television studio shows Phil Hartman and Joe King sitting in chairs. Hartman. Hello, I'm Hill Fartman, and welcome to the season premiere of SNL's Crazy Critics, where one of our several in-house critics joins me to discuss the latest SNL episode. Joining me on this episode is none other than Saturday Night Live producer Joe King. Welcome, Joe. King.
Pleasure to be here, Fartman. It's great that the writer's strike is over and SNL is back, so let's jump right into it.
Hartman. Very well. What did you think of the cold open?
King. Well, what can I say? I thought Pete Davidson's Joe Biden impression was a little weak, to be honest.
Hartman. Pete wasn't portraying President Biden. He was being himself.
King. Keep your pants on, Fartman. I know that, okay? I was just trying to make a joke, okay? Now, Pete's cold open was very heartfelt, bringing up his father's death in a terrorist attack and comparing it to the suffering in Israel and Gaza this week, okay? Now, as I make abundantly clear all the time, I'm unapologetically pro-Semitic, so the attack on Israel has troubled me very deeply. Therefore, I suppose it was nice for SNL to give the tragedy such import that they sacrificed their cold open to touch upon it. I thought it was very classy.
Hartman. Okay, and what were your thoughts on Pete Davidson's monologue?
Okay. Well, of course, it was very funny, okay? The Game of Thrones joke, the high school football coach joke, being from Staten Island, the drug overdose girl in the car he was banging, okay? But I was intrigued by the secret message that was conveyed.
Hartman. Oh boy, here we go again with your secret messages.
Okay, now hear me out, okay? Lauren must have known that I saw Pete perform stand-up October 5th in Rosemont, and therefore had Pete give the same jokes tonight in his monologue in homage to me seeing him earlier this month.
Hartman. So you think Lorne Michaels sent you a secret message by having Pete perform his material that you already heard, as opposed to Pete using his recent stand-up tour to hone his new jokes for the monologue, and you just happen to hear both?
King. That's right. Lauren's very crafty like that.
Hartman. Very well. What did you think of the sketch Fox NFL Sunday?
King. Now, I thought it was great, okay? Keenan is Kurt Menefee, Molly is Terry Bradshaw, Mikey is Howie Long, Devin is Michael Strahan, and James is Jimmy Johnson. We're all great casting choices, and they did funny impressions, okay? And then having the whole thing devolve into a Taylor Swift conversation with Pete and sideline reporter Kenny DiTullo was great fun, okay? With Travis Kelce himself making a cameo at the very end was a nice touch, okay? Of course, I love the NFL. I have Kelce on a few of my 23 fantasy teams, and I think Taylor's pretty damn hot. So the whole thing was a secret message to me.
Hartman. So both the NFL and Travis and Taylor's budding romance don't have enough public appeal, independent of you, that you insist that bringing them up was merely a secret message to you?
King. Did I stutter? Yes, okay? Bringing them up was a secret message to me, okay? All the mind games Lawrence plays. Okay, it's like we're in a mental chess match, him and I.
Hartman. Anyway, how about the video I'm Just Pete?
Okay. Yes, it was a very funny video, okay? Pete starting to sing after finding Punky and Andrew scoff at him returning to the show to host, okay? I like the line, I'm just Pete and I like jugs. I'm mentally ill and I'm on drugs, okay? And in episode 81 of Saturday Night Live, we did have a bunch of wild pitches we were sending to Lauren, including one involving bipolar Barbies. So Pete here portraying a bipolar Ken was a secret message to me.
Hartman. I thought perhaps your own issues with mental health and addiction was going to be involved with the, quote, secret message.
Okay. Well, you thought wrong, jerk off, okay? No need to bring up my personal life, okay, unless you want to get into your wife leaving you, Fartman.
Hartman. You said you wouldn't bring that up. It's been very difficult. Anyway, what did you think of the next sketch, Wired Autocomplete Interview?
Okay. I thought it was funny, okay, with the premise being that cast members of a new Marvel show were reading what internet searches of them that there had been, with Pete's character being heavily searched involving having diarrhea on a Delta flight that had to turn around. Okay, I love the line at the end where Pete pointed at the beautiful
Didn't you tell a joke in the Joe King monologue about shitting yourself in a forest preserve parking lot? That could be a secret message.
King, I said no secret messages there. Now let's move on before I bring up your wife's new boyfriend.
Hartman, that rat bastard won't last a month with my love. Anyway, what did you think of the next sketch, Secretary?
Okay, I thought it was fabulously funny, okay, and chock full of secret messages. First off, Pete plays a lawyer. I'm a lawyer myself, so that was a secret message to me. And, of course, the beautiful, lovely, and talented Heidi Gardner portrayed Pete's secretary, Trudy, and she did a marvelous job creating a 1950s-style character that I hope we get to see again in a future show. Okay, and, of course, she fell through the table toward the end of the sketch and lost her top. I, of course, employed Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live, who was no stranger to both falling through tables and taking his shirt off during his SNL run. So having the beautiful Miss Gardner do the same was a secret message to me.
Hartman, very well. What were your thoughts on the Please Don't Destroy video, the original Princes of Comedy?
Okay. Well, it was absolutely delightful and extremely funny premise where the three PDD guys were watching videos of them as kids being Def Jam comics. Okay, hitting the Capri Sun from the back. If God wanted me to eat coochie, he would have put it in a Lunchable. Okay, those were jokes very well received by me. And, of course, John Mulaney made a cameo as a comic who wasn't reaching the deaf comedy audience as a white guy. Okay, I, of course, am a big John Mulaney fan and saw him perform October 5th in Rosemont, Illinois. And I'm also white, so having John make a cameo as a white comic was a secret message to me.
Hartman, so John Mulaney, a former writer and 5-time host of the show, making a cameo was merely a secret message to you?
Okay. Did John think quicksand was going to be a much bigger problem than it turned out to be? Okay, the answer is yes.
Hartman, okay, and how about Ice Spice's performance of the song In Hamoud?
Okay, she was great, okay? I'm a fan of big booties. Okay, she showed off her pronounced booty throughout, so that was a secret message to me. Thank you for that, Lauren.
Hartman, because loving big booties is specific to you.
Okay, I mean, there is Sir Mix-a-Lot as well, but last I checked, he didn't start a show that politely spoofs SNL, so I think the secret message was meant for me.
Hartman, what did you think of Weekend Update?
Okay. Well, the fact that they had a weekend update on the show at all, one of my favorite segments, and one we just recently spoofed in our latest episode with Weekend Doug Update, was a secret message to me.
Hartman, they literally have a weekend update every episode.
King, anywho, the jokes were great, including Trump thinking Hezbollah was the genie from Aladdin, having Colin tell a joke about black fathers, and Bowen came out as Christopher Columbus and did a great job. I, of course, think Chris has gotten a raw deal with Indigenous People Day supplanting his holiday, okay? Instead of canceling Columbus, couldn't we instead just have 2 Mondays off, okay? So mentioning Columbus was a secret message to me. And finally, Keenan came out as Deion Sanders and did a great job. I, of course, played some football in grammar school and high school, so that was a secret message to me.
Hartman, oh, come on, you play football? You're not even trying to find good secret messages.
Okay, what can I say? The premise is running thin. However, Colin did accidentally say Chicago when he meant to say Colorado. Okay, I'm based out of Chicago, so that flub was a secret message to me, okay? Lauren probably fiddled with the cue cards between dress and the live show just for the secret message.
Hartman, right. Anyway, how about the next sketch, Spaceship?
Okay. Well, I thought it was a very funny premise on a Star Trek-like spaceship with Bowen as Marley, an Al Franken impression based on whenever he returns to Studio 8H. It was fantastic.
Hartman, and the secret message?
Okay. Well, Lauren had those two Stone Cold Foxes, Heidi Gardner and Chloe Fineman, up front and center in the sketch. Okay, Heidi looked particularly breathtaking in that metal bodysuit. Okay, Lauren knows how I like my Stone Cold Foxes, so having them up front and center was a secret message to me.
Hartman, okay, and how about perhaps the highlight of the evening, Taylor Swift introducing Ice Spice for her second song?
Okay, you heard me. I like Stone
sounds like a frog dying in his throat. How about the next sketch, Beach Day? Okay.
Yes, it was very funny with Andrew buried in the sand and undercutting Pete's character's bean farm tragedy because he wanted a picture of himself taken buried in the sand, okay? It was delightful. And we, of course, had three beauties. Ego, Sarah Sherman finally making an appearance, and the debut of Miss Chloe Trost, who was prominently showing off her twins, okay? So having those three beauties involved in the sketch was a secret message to me.
Hartman, has this just really devolved into nonsense of you saying there's a secret message because you're a horny old man who wants to bang all the ladies of SNL? Okay.
Devolved into nonsense is a strong phrase, okay? If you only understood the mental jujitsu that Lauren is playing when he crafts the show to send me secret messages. Perhaps I'm not doing it justice, but trust me, it's riveting.
Hartman, oh, I'm sure. How about the next sketch, Glam Gina? Okay.
Well, it was a very funny sketch where all of SNL's beautiful female cast members were involved, and the secret message was clear, with the premise of the sketch being all about the beautiful, lovely, and talented Sarah Sherman Snatch, and it having on makeup, okay? Sarah Sherman Snatch has such wonderful alliteration, and I love alliteration almost as much as I'd love to see Sarah Sherman Snatch. So that was a secret message to me.
Hartman, you're a dirty old man who wants snatch. We get it. And finally, perhaps mercifully, the final sketch, Roadhouse Bar.
Okay. Yes, this was a very funny sketch about Andrew and Pete playing factory workers, Cheesecake Factory workers, trying to convince Keenan to get into the online porn game by showing feet pics, which eventually degraded into them wanting to take video of his naked undercarriage for 8 to 12 hours. Okay, and while I haven't gotten into the online porn game as of yet, Andrew's character was named Tommy. My alter ego is named Tom Murphy, so that was a secret message to me.
Hartman. And finally, we're done.
Okay. Oh, just one more thing, Hartman. Dead from the earth, we're not alive.
It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Rudolph Isley, and your host, Margot Kidder. Everybody, Margot Kidder. Applause, applause, applause. Shows Kidder on stage who says, thank you, thank you. I was an actress, and though I appeared in an array of films and television roles, I am most widely known for my performance as Lois Lane in the Superman film series, appearing in the first 4 films. Applause, applause, applause. Aaron Dobra. Kidder. What was that? Anyway, Aaron Dobra. Kidder. Anyway, in its 4th season, I had the privilege of hosting Saturday Night Live on St. Patrick's Day. Chris Farley comes out dressed in green and yells, Aaron Dobra. Kidder. What the hell is happening? Gilda Radner comes out and says, hey, Margot, we sometimes like to recreate the monologue for our host that hosted SNL. And since you hosted on St. Patrick's Day in 1979, Chris is out here yelling, Aaron Dobra. Farley. Aaron Dobra. Kidder. Can I talk to Lauren about this? Radner. Sorry, Lauren's still alive. Kidder. Well, how about a director? Radner. Well, sure. You remember Dave Wilson. You and I went to go speak with him in the control room when you hosted SNL. Come on, we'll go talk to him. Radner and Kidder leave the stage and enter the control room. In the control room shows director Dave Wilson, John Belushi, and Norm MacDonald dressed in green, singing and dancing. Kidder. What's going on? Belushi. Aaron Dobra. Radner. John, it's October. Wilson. Come on, Gilda. It's always St. Patty's Day when Margot hosts. McDonald. Aaron, go, brah! Ah! McDonald begins to puke all over the control panel. Kidder walks back on stage where Farley is passed out on the ground. Kidder. Well, while the cast and crew here is celebrating St. Patrick's Day in October, we still got a great show for you. Rudolph Isley is here, so get ready to shout. We'll be right back.